What's going on? What's going on? I just want to do a quick update. This is not gonna really be like a class. It's gonna be more like me ranting, I guess. But yeah, I just want to do a quick update on what's been going on and just a recap. So for the last couple of days, we've been seeing the short squeeze of GameStop, AMC, and a few others, and we saw that Melvin Capital and a couple other companies were shorted over 100% on the GameStop stock, and the Wall Street Bets crowd, they found out about it, and they were able to pump the price of the stock upwards and cause these large institutional investors to lose a lot of money. So that was, for us, that was a leg up. And then we saw Robinhood halt trading, and they made it so that way investors couldn't buy, retail investors at least, we couldn't buy. And then we were looking like, what was going on? So the CEO of Robinhood, he went on CNN, and he was talking about how this is standard operating procedures, and all this and all that. But then we come to find out that Citadel is invested in the Robinhood. They had $39 million of securities and option flows invested in the Robinhood. And then we saw them spend, over $2 billion in bailing out Melvin Capital. And Melvin Capital is one of the companies that shorted the GameStop stock on Robinhood. So we know that Citadel's invested in the Robinhood. We know that Melvin Capital shorted on Robinhood. And we know that Citadel invested into Melvin Capital. Now, we don't know Citadel's and Melvin Capital's relationship outside of, them and they invested in Melvin Capital. We don't know if it's a long-going relationship or what, but it's fishy. You know what I'm saying? It definitely looks suspicious to me. And, this just goes to show us that even when we get a leg up, even when we get a little bit ahead, like, they still pulling the strings. Like, we try to get a piece of the pie, and they showing that they control the oven. They control the heat. And, it's just messed up. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, like, we are trying to get in and get positions, or y'all are at least, trying to get in and get positions and get some profits. And they're making it so that way only them and their little buddies can get profits. Only them and the people who are invested into them, or only the people that they bump shoulders with and go to lunch with, whatever. Like, it's just crazy. And this is the reason why decentralized finance is so important. This is the reason why Ethereum is so important. Chainlink, Tezos. Like, this is the reason that all these different applications are so important. And I'm not a computer engineer, and so for me, I'm more of an enthusiast, and I like to learn about it, and I'm taking courses to learn more and bouncing ideas off of people. But people need to learn more about what's going on in the world in general, but especially where we're headed, because again, like, just for real world analogies, like, Ethereum is trying to be the base protocol. Like, Ethereum is trying to be the internet, and you can build stuff on top of it. Like, Bitcoin is a good store of value. Bitcoin solved this problem. Bitcoin is going to be digital gold, in my opinion. Digital is going to be a good store of value, but Bitcoin will never be a currency. Like, it will never be an actual currency that we use. It's being used in other countries for different things, but it will never be an actual currency that we use. And it's not meant to be built on top of. You can't build on top of Bitcoin. And people are Bitcoin maximalists, and people they all pro Bitcoin. And I'm not all Bitcoin, because I realize that Bitcoin is going to be a good store of value. I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, definitely draws people in. But Bitcoin isn't the end-all, be-all of crypto. It's definitely not the best crypto. Like Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. I think Ethereum can flip Bitcoin one day. Is going to flip Bitcoin one day, and it's because it's better. It's actually used for something. Like it's actually going to be the base layer for where we go next. And then you have stuff that builds on top of it. So again, I'm not a computer engineer, but just for real world analogies, you look at Maker. Like Maker is the reserve bank on Ethereum, and then DAI is a reserve coin. It's the stable coin, so it's like the dollar essentially. Then you got Aave. Aave is another protocol. Aave does like flash loans, so just like how you can do on margin. In the stock market, you can put in money and get and borrow against it. You can do flash loans. Like it's so much more than just money and numbers on a chart. And I encourage y'all to look into it because even just looking at some of these white papers or starting to research these companies and looking into what they're doing, Polkadot, like Graph Token, like a lot of these different companies out here, they're doing stuff that personally, what I'm saying, like we've never seen before. Like they're doing stuff that they're laying out the foundation of where we're gonna go before we get there. And this is what we missed out on, not being able to invest in the internet, not being able to invest in Apple early or Amazon early or Google early. Like a lot of people in my generation is what we missed, or even people who aren't in my generation who just didn't invest. This is what we missed out on by sitting on the sidelines or not being old enough or not having the knowledge or the know-how to do so. But with this, we can't say that. Like we have the knowledge, like we have the information right here at our fingertips, and we're able to see, where things are headed. Now we don't know if Ethereum is going to be able to launch its 2.0. Like I believe that it is, but there could be Cardano, there could be Cardano, there could be Polkadot. Like they could essentially take that place and fill that need. But whether they do or not, a lot of these other platforms are going to be built on top of something. So looking at that, like I encourage you to educate yourself on what's going on and where we are and getting out here, because us or y'all or them being able to beat or at least get a little leg up on the institutional investors, like we saw how that reacted. We saw how that played out. Robinhood denied y'all access, and that's the same thing that Coinbase or Binance or any of these other centralized platforms can do. And that's why I don't shit on Coinbase. Like I don't have an issue with Coinbase at all. Like I think Coinbase is definitely good for beginners. I think Coinbase is good for the majority of people out there to at least get started and see how buying and selling crypto works. But again, like just like how Robinhood can halt trading, Coinbase, Binance, they can do the same thing if things get out of control or things go against what them and their investors want. But that's the best thing that Satoshi, whoever she or they may be, did for the crypto community was step away from Bitcoin. There's no CEO behind Bitcoin. There's no company behind Bitcoin that's pushing Bitcoin and pumping Bitcoin and striking deals and getting people to invest. Like people invest because they want to. The market makes the demand, not the CEO rubbing shoulders with this hedge fund manager or that hedge fund manager or whatever it may be allegedly. Like that's not what happens. Like it runs on its own. And the same thing with Ethereum. Like Ethereum on Vitalik, he created Ethereum, but all the stuff, like there are over 3,000 applications built on Ethereum, and they aren't Ethereum based. Like they aren't built by Ethereum. So that's what we can see. You can see that they can create it, but he doesn't control it. Like he doesn't shift the way it goes or manipulate the way it goes. The market has a demand for these cryptocurrencies, and we can see that Black Scale and a bunch of these other large investors, institutional investors, JP Morgan, PayPal, they're already investing into Bitcoin. And once people see the use case, the actual utility, the actual real world value of these different applications, as opposed to just numbers on a chart, then, they're going to be able to see, where we're going next. And then they're going to invest in it. Like, look at Dogecoin. look at XRP, GameStop. GameStop was going out of business. Dogecoin is a meme coin. I mean, XRP, I'm going to do a video on XRP, but XRP, allegedly was conducting an illegal activity. Brad Garlinghouse and the CEOs over there, like, they were, allegedly buying other commodities and selling XRP. They were just dumping XRP, like, those don't have real world utilities. Like GameStop going out of business. Nokia, come on, like, y'all, come on. When last time you bought a Nokia phone? So like, we see that anything can pump, anything can go up in value without a reason why. Like anything. Jeff Booth, a real big investor, somebody that I follow. He wrote The Price of Tomorrow. He does podcasts and stuff like that as well. But somebody that I look up to, and somebody that I follow, he said it best, in my opinion, that the market can remain insolvent and unpredictable longer than you can remain solvent and liquid. So basically what he was saying is that, the market can pump and the market can go down. The market can do all these different unpredictable things for a longer period of time than you can keep pumping money into it. You, individually, investing your money. You'll end up losing your money, a lot of you, before you're able to catch gains off of these different pumping notes, because you don't know how they work. And it's not a knock on anybody, but it's just, like, you know that the traditional way of investing is buying low and selling high. That's with anything. You wouldn't pay more for something and then sell it for less. Like, that's not how investing works. You're buying something low and then you're selling it high. But a majority of you out there are buying stuff at all-time highs. You are buying stuff when people are pumping it, when it's in the media, when everybody's talking about it, buy this, invest in this. You're buying it at all-time highs, and then it's getting dumped on you. A lot of times, if you don't know, like, who's getting scammed in an endeavor, or you don't know who the sucker is, a lot of times it's you. If you don't know who the sucker is, a lot of times it's you. And you really need to pay attention to that, because I get on here and I tell you about, I try to educate. I'm not telling you to, put your money in this, pump that, pump this, pump that. This is about to go to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, Bitcoin is going to be a store of value. It's going to keep going up. It's deflationary. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. We're at 18.5 right now. So as less and less Bitcoin comes into circulation, and it halves every 4 years, it just halved this year, back in June or May. So in the next 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that comes into circulation every year, it's up over 300,000 now, is going to be cut in half. And we're going to keep getting cut in half every 4 years until we get to 21 million. And then there will be no more in circulation. The Bitcoin that's already out there is going to be out there, but it's going to be so expensive that people aren't going to want to buy it. People aren't going to be able to afford it. And then they're going to start looking for alternatives. That's what they're going to start looking into: Ethereum, into Chainlink, Tezos, Cardano, Polkadot, Maker, Dai, Aave. That's what they're going to start looking into, all these VeChain. That's when they're going to start looking into all these different companies. And if you see how the Wall Street bets wanted to stick it to the man, like, when they find out that DeFi is the best way to do that, and crypto is the best way to do that, then everybody's bag is going to pump. all these cryptocurrencies are going to pump, but they're going to pump they're going to pump for the right reasons. They're going to pump because they actually have real world value, not because there's some meme coin or they're a bad company. So I want to do a video on the XRP lawsuit tomorrow. I also want to do one on the silver short squeeze. A lot of people been talking about silver, and I know I've probably been seeing silver this and silver that, or buy silver. So I want to talk about that. What else? Oh yeah, I plan on having two people I know, computer scientist and computer engineer, that I definitely want to have on and have a conversation with, so y'all can hear it. So they can talk more about like the application side. They can talk, because again, I'm not a computer engineer, so I definitely want them to talk more about that. But if you're out there and you are a computer engineer, or you are a computer scientist, analyst, whatever, and you know more about the application side of it and you want to talk about it, then definitely hit me up, because I plan on having people on, just different people talking about different stuff. And I definitely want you to be a part of that. So if you're out there, definitely hit me up. I definitely want to have some financial advisors and just some regular investors, some people who invest, and traders, all that. I want to have different people that I have conversations with and record it, so that way y'all can hear that. So that's what I plan on doing. At least in the first one, I plan on being one of the computer scientists or engineers, and letting y'all hear that. And then after that, we'll see from there. See how that goes. See how y'all like that. We're going to keep building, man. Like I say, just definitely, pay attention to what you're investing in. Research, do your due diligence, like I always say. Ask questions, because we're definitely headed to a new world. We're not going back. And there's a lot of different things that are going to shape this new world and form this new world. And you have the opportunity to either be a part of it, whether you're working, job related, because there's not enough people to fill the tech jobs that are available right now. And there's definitely not going to be enough once there more come available. So, if you are in tech, or if you aren't, or you're thinking about it, or you're an enthusiast, I advise you to look into how your field relates to tech. I'm looking at how my field and tech, relate to each other, and how they're going to be intertwined, and how, people are going to do stuff in my field, with tech. And that's what I'm, looking towards. That's what I'm looking to invest in. And I encourage you to do the same. Find out, how they revolutionize or how they innovate in your field, or get into tech, So they're going to need people, and they're going to need people who create these applications. So people who, build these new, companies, and who build these new protocols and programs. They're gonna have, they're gonna need people who, work on these different protocols and programs, like work for these different companies. They're gonna need a lot of different stuff. So I advise y'all to get involved, ask questions, find communities. Get a group of people you can bounce ideas off. Whether you're traders, or find somebody who's a experienced trader, an accredited investor. Find a group of different people that you can bounce ideas off of, invest together, and learn together. But as always, shoot me a DM, book a consultation, hit me up, and I'm gonna be dropping some videos for y'all. So, good night.